Thank you, everyone, for coming today. And yeah, we're talking a little hockey in July. So we're super excited to be introducing our new head coach of the Phantoms. But it's a guy that here with the Phantoms, we already know him, and we've gotten to know him over the last couple of years. John Snowden has been an assistant coach with the Lehigh Valley Phantoms for 2 years. And so that's sort of especially exciting for us, particularly because he knows the community and he's been part of the community, has established himself and his family and his 3 children who are here, somewhere right here, joining us here today. And he's not only established himself in the community, but embraced the community. He knows what the Lehigh Valley is all about. He knows what the Phantoms are about, obviously with our owners, Rob and Jim Brooks, and with the Flyers management, and with the players. He's not starting from scratch. He's going to be able to hit the ground running. And so I am thrilled to introduce the 5th head coach of the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, John Snowden. John, thank you. Congratulations.
Thanks, Bob. Just want to thank you all for coming. Exciting time for my family and myself. I want to start by thanking Mr. Hilferty, Keith Jones, Danny Briere, Alan McCulley, Jim and Rob Brooks for the opportunity. It's something we've been working through for a long time to get to this moment here. So very, very excited about it. First, before I move on to anything, I just want to thank my wife, my kids. They deal with a lot with us. We move around a lot. We've been in a lot of places. So I just want to thank you. So thank you. We got exciting things ahead of us here. We have a very, very exciting group of players that are going to be coming in here to come and mesh with the players that we've already had. We have a pretty good, solid foundation that Lappy's left for us and built for us to build upon. We have a good foundation. Now we need to take it to the next level of where we're going to be. The excitement of the players that we might see here, of the Alex Bumps, the Oliver Bonks, the Denver Barkeys, all these, Devin Kaplan. These are players that are going to be important pieces of the Flyers foundation as we move forward, but they're going to be important pieces of our team as well, and where we can get them here over the next little while and see if they can make that jump to the NHL and also help us win along the way. So we're very excited about that. And then to see them mix with the players of the Garrett Wilsons, as you guys have seen, we just re-signed, which is a massive thing for us because of his leadership abilities. Zaid Wisdom is another player that is a massive player for us over the last couple of years here, and his leadership abilities, his work on and off the ice, and laying that foundation for the young players that are going to step in here and knowing what it takes every day to be a Phantom and to be a Flyer eventually down the road here. So those guys are going to be super important for us as we move forward. I can't understate, and I can't move past the importance of what this job is right now. And I know how important this is going to be for myself, for our entire staff of the players that are coming in here, because this is where it's going to start. This is where the rebuild for the Flyers is going to start, and it's going to start with us and the way we do things here and the development process that we're going to put in place for these players to not only help us win here, because if we do it right, we are going to win games, but also see them move their way up to the NHL where they all want to be at the end of the day. So really, really exciting times for us, for my staff, for my family, for the ownership, for the team in general, for the Flyers. It's going to be a very exciting time here moving forward, and I'm just ready to get going. So just a couple things for me, just so you guys kind of have an idea of what type of team you'll be watching play and the style of play that we have. Very aggressive. I want to be a very aggressive, fast, offensively attacking team. I want the puck. I want to value the puck. I don't want to give it away. I want to hold on to it. And if you want the puck, you got to earn it back. And that's the way that we're going to look at doing things. I want to drive our offense up. We're going to defend the right way. We're going to check. We're going to move the game from our defensive zone to the offensive zone as fast as we can. And then when we get there, we want to stay there and we want to grind them down. So it's going to be very important of that. So with how we do those things, that's things we'll work through. And talking with Rick Tocchet and the way that we're going to mesh our team's systems together is going to be a very important thing. So when the players move their way up to the Flyers, when they get those call-ups, it's not going to be as much thinking of, I've got to play this D zone here, we play this D zone there, we might do this in the neutral zone. We don't want that. So we want to tie it a certain way. to a certain amount of the same between both teams, but knowing that there's got to be some of us too. So the offensive side of the game would be more for us to pick out. The defensive side of the game is going to be more of us being in line with the Flyers. And that would also bleed down into Reading as well. So they have the same thing. So when players come up to us, they know exactly what they need to do, and it makes their transition easier. And when they step on the ice, they can just play the game and not have to think a whole lot. So just a little bit of idea with that, but we will be an aggressive team. We're going to hold on to the puck. We're going to be very, very, very hard to play against. That's the way that I believe the game needs to play. And it kind of moves into the community piece of it. Is this hardworking community. We want to be that type of team. We want to make everybody proud when they walk out and they come into the rink to see us play, which is going to be a massive thing for us. Obviously, I have two boys that play in the Lehigh Valley with hockey. My daughter's invested in baseball. We're in the middle of the community all the time, so it's incredibly important to us that not only do we do the right things in the community as players and staff and as an organization, but we put ourselves in the middle of it because it's going to be so important to grow the team and make sure when people come out to watch us, they have someone to connect with and they have people to connect with, and we just want to make sure we do it proud of that. So just a little bit of a quick snippet of us and what you'll get out of me, and I guess we can open up to you guys from there.
Yeah, questions? Yes, no?
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid.
You talked a little bit about the connection with Tocchet. Just what has the conversations been like with him?
They've been excellent. He's very welcoming for me. I went to Atlantic City before the draft had happened, and we had some coaches meetings there. So we haven't put down the groundwork. We'll have meetings in August, but with my whole staff and with the Flyers whole staff, and I think maybe Reading staff will be there as well, of us to really just let him kind of tell us, this is how I want you guys to play, and then we can bounce ideas off of each other. Maybe I have something that he hasn't done before that he think will help for him. So those are kind of where it's at. So we took 2 days together in Atlantic City and listening to kind of everybody talk about where they've come from and the style of play they have, and then we're going to kind of merge it together and see how it all looks. But it's exciting. I like it. When I was in Toronto, that was how things were done. We went from the top to the bottom where we kept things in line, so it made it easier for the players on their transition. And I'm really happy that that's what he wants to do as well.
When we spoke to Riley at camp a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
He talked about feeling like you guys see the game the same way. You now also have a former member of his staff on your staff.
Yeah.
How important is that going forward to get really some synergy going between you and the development side?
Yeah, it's going to be huge. They're going to be heavily leaned upon. I try to, as I was going through the schedule last night, well, she was watching a show in bed and I was looking at our schedule of how we can map this season out of, is going to be a big focus on development. And I am a big believer in everybody working inclusively, right? I don't want a push-pull relationship. I want the development staff to understand what we're doing as a team structurally, because then it will help them understand when they're teaching the players the individual stuff. Okay, this is maybe the why he did this in this situation, because structurally he needs to be in this kind of spot here. So Riley and I, we see the game very similar, and everybody within development staff. And I think this year we're going to use them a lot. We're going to have every day is going to start with some kind of small group development ice, and it's going to be focused on what the organizational needs are stated from Tocchet and what we need as a team play thing. And we'll start every day with 20 minutes of a small 5 forwards, 4D, get on the ice, just individual slow touches, get off the ice, cut the ice, tell them practice, everybody practices, and away we go. So it's going to be a massive focus on helping them develop their game and be ready to play at the next level.
You mentioned, first off, congrats on the opportunity. And
Thank you.
One of the things they say is that the AHL sometimes is harder to coach than the NHL, just because players coming up and down. You've seen it firsthand, but I'm wondering what you've learned / what you know coming in, or if anyone's told you anything about just you're coming in first time as a AHL coach to prepare for this roster influx. Maybe the system stays the same, the message stays the same, but what are you coming in prepared for your first opportunity?
Well, I think you're right. It is hard. Everything's different. It seems daily. It's not new. I mean, the ECHL was not very much different. Obviously, the talent level is it's going to be higher at this level, and the coaching is going to be better at this level. But I still think if you have a process, which I'm a very process-driven person, I believe in not trying to pick and pluck and try to figure out how to fix it. Like, this is how we're going to do it, and this is how we're going to get there, and we're going to do it step by step by step and build it out. I think if you do that with all the players, you set them up to have success. So if we lose our players, we still have players that are ready to take those spots. Like, it's one of those things of, next man up, let's go. And I'm not a person that builds in excuses. I don't believe in that. I think you have every player that's going to be here is here for a reason, and they're good hockey players. And that when we lose a player to go up, the next player is going to get his opportunity to take advantage of that, and we keep moving forward, and we don't look back at it.
About the call-ups, some of the players are calling up. You're obviously very much in touch with Talkit, and you're going to communicate a lot. What are some of the qualities you're going to be looking for in those players that when they come in, that they're ready to go to the NHL, whenever the players get called up, that whether it's from the system or from just how they're playing, that you want to see in them?
I think just in our quick conversations and kind of what we feel is, what the nice thing is about that question is that Talkit and I have a very similar approach of what makes a player very good and what makes a player hard to play against. So for us, it's being able to play with people around you, like inside of contact, on guys on your back, inviting contact. We feel the same way because it's hard to play against that, right? All the time. Now, it's a demanding style to play, but so for us, like, just setting them up for that in our development process of always just being miserable to play against. In our practices, it's going to be miserable to play against, and they're just going to have to buy into that, because at the end of the day, we're not setting them for it's not now, it's setting them up for success a year from now when we hit the playoffs, of just being in a hard play, because it gets hard in the playoffs, and just moving forward from there. So that's kind of the process of what we're looking at with the way we do things. It's never easy, and it's hard to get people to buy into those things right away, but I believe that we have the right staff in place, and we have the right ideas that are going to be presented to them, and once we get all aligned with that, we'll move forward.
You have an amazing plan laid out, but with Mike Tyson said the same about Mike Tyson, has a plan so he can punch in the face.
Yeah.
What have you learned about, with your other coaching peers, on adaptability and how important that is going forward?
I think if you want to coach and you want to coach at a high level, you got to have plan A, B, C, D. And if you don't have those working, you better hope that you have an X down the road there. So you can't be I'm not a believer in being a reactionary coach. I think it's being a forward-thinking person and always trying to think ahead and trying to plan ahead and paying attention to what's happening in front of you. And if someone's getting injured up top, what's that going to look like? Who could they be gone? How can we replace that? If we're playing a team that maybe we didn't have much success against over the little bit of stretch of the season, what can we do to change that, but not change our identity of who we are? So I think if you're reactionary, you're always going to get caught. If you're thinking forward, then you'll be all right. And that's the way that I like to do things. I don't think I'm going to get it right every single time. I don't believe anybody does, but I at least believe in the process of what I'm doing, and I think the players will buy into that as well.
And how quick did it go from, oh, I got the job, to, oh, I got the job, this is what was that transition like?
It was. I would be lying to you if I told you that it's not something that I've been obviously thinking about and working towards since I've started coaching. I love being an assistant coach. I loved working with Lappy. I learned so many things from him and Gator and the way that they do things defensively. I mean, they played 1,000 games in the NHL. That's an invaluable thing that you can grab from them, and just listening to how they talk about the game defensively. So I was obviously, you have that moment of like, oh boy, like it's on you now, but that's why you do this, right? That's why you do this job. That's why you want to coach. That's why you want to be the one in charge, because at the end of the day, it's going to come down on you. And I love that. Pressure's a privilege, is in my opinion, and I'm very privileged right now.